I want to do a real quick review on this. This is just something that I thought was cool. I have had this Wooster brand painter's comb probably for about 10 years, and as you can tell, it's had a lot of use. The bristles just about don't do anything anymore. They still work, but obviously I've used this for long enough. And so I thought it was cool to take a look at the part number here and just kind of the packaging and see where has Wooster gone in the last 10 years with this package. So, and just with the design, just to see if the design has changed any, but I did notice on the package, the old package here, there's this little side cover where this cover comes apart here, and there's actually a die number, and the 15720 is maybe a part number, SKU. I don't know, I don't think it's a date code, but I just noticed that it's got this die number on here. The part number originally was 1831, as you can see right there. So this is the old painter's comb. Improves paintbrush cleaning. Yes, if you have paintbrushes, then this is great for using on paintbrushes. So this is the old comb. This is the old Wooster that I had. You can see the tines are kind of dented up on the top where the actual comb is and where the brush is, the points. This is brass. It's all coated in paint, and the bristles are bent all kinds of different directions. I don't know how many times I've cleaned brushes out, but as cheap as this comb is when I bought it, and as cheap as it is now to buy it, the cool thing about it is it saved my Purdy paintbrushes all this time. I've only recently went and purchased new paintbrushes just to let the kids use the old ones. So just a quick product change review on this probably 10 plus years that I've had this old comb. And then to take a look at the new one. So they've updated the packaging, you know, they changed where the lettering is. They also changed the direction of the packaging itself. The old packaging, the comb came out like this and the writing was this way, and the new packaging, the comb sits in the bottom, which if this was hanging in a store by the hole in the handle, which they typically do in a hardware store, this would actually be upside down. So they actually rectified that. So when it's hanging in the store, it's actually right side up where you can read it. The part number on this is 1832. The die still says 206. It's the same die that it said on the last one, and 15721 instead of 15720. So it seems to me that this is just over time going up a number for whatever that number is, and then going up a number for the actual part number. But the die still stay the same, which is interesting because I would think that the die would be what actually stamps out the plastic mold for the handle itself. So looking at the difference between these two now, you can see old versus new. So this is what the bristles originally looked like. This old brush used to look just like this, where the bristles come out, the brass bristles, so you can see how beat up it is. One thing I noticed is that the handle itself is shorter with the new one, and a shorter handle actually would help with stress on your wrist when you're using the brush. I think that the shorter handle would help with that. So I'm making a couple statements here. I don't believe that, because I'm obviously not on the design team, I don't believe that Wooster thought there was a problem with the old one and they changed, but I do know that things just change over time. So for whatever reason, Wooster changed the length of the handle. They also changed how many of the comb tines you have. So the new one has 10 tines, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and the old one actually had 12, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. The tines are further apart between each other, but the length of this part of the handle is actually the same, so it's just less tines in the same length, just spaced out a little bit more. So they dropped 2 tines. That could be the tines were too close to actually walk through a brush more easily. It could be that they just decided they're going to save the money and do 2 less tines per brush for the last 10 years for however many brushes they've sold. The material looks almost identical. It's got this kind of blotchy plastic coloration in it, where these are particles of a different color of plastic in the mold. When they do, this is some kind of injection mold. And then however they heat set the bristle for the tines for the comb and the bristles in, but you can see the bristles on the comb side are in an orientation where there's 3, there's 3 wide looking at it this way, and then just looking at the end you can count how many of these sets there are of 3. So there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So they've gone to 10 on this as well. And when you look at the old one, which is much harder to see now because of the use, but they actually had 4 wide. So that's another change they made. They've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So they did 9, and then they offset them and had 4 rows instead of 3. So on the old, it was 9 times 4, which is 32, and on the new, it's 3 times 10. If I counted that right, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yep. So it's 3 times 10 on this, which is 30. So they dropped 2 of the bristles and they dropped 2 of the tines. So now it's this is just the updated version. They switched around which side the when you're looking at the handle and the bristles, they've still got, well, if you notice, so they've got Wooster in the same order here. I knew on one side or the other it was flip-flopped. So they've got, when you look at Wooster, they're both in the same orientation here, but when you flip this one over, for some reason on the other one, Wooster switches to the other direction. So, I don't know. Wooster decided to make some changes on that. Why? I'm not sure. I'm not sure why the die didn't change, because it seems like if the die was the original design for the plastic injection mold, then there would be an update to a new number when they did the die. You know, I've got a manufacturing background in industrial technology, and I've worked as a manufacturing manager for the last 5 years, and I've got extensive manufacturing experience as an assembly technician, and I've helped with design, and I've worked in fabrication for architectural installation, that kind of thing. So I've got a pretty good background on the stuff. I just thought somebody might find it interesting to see, in the last 10 plus years, how has Wooster changed their painter's comb. So there's the old, there's the new, there's the differences between the two. Hope you liked the video. Please subscribe to the channel. I would like to be able to eventually get some monetization to help maybe make this channel more full-time, so that I could do this, and you know, support from other people would help with, you know, just paying the bills, so I can spend my time doing the research and making videos and posting them on my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. I hope you come back and check out another video sometime soon. Subscribe to the channel, please. Share the channel, like the video, comment on the video, and I will see you again soon.